Lady Boss Mamas, and I'm Molly Addis. I own a clothing line called Molly Addis Maternity for breastfeeding and postpartum moms. And my two boys are Bennett and Andrew, who are almost 7 and 8 years old.
And I'm Laura Katanen. I'm a lifestyle blogger, and I'm also a sensory branding and marketing consultant. And Molly and I connected on Instagram, and we had the shared interest and passion in helping us, other women, support other women who are moms and entrepreneurs, because the journey is not so easy at times. And we like to share other stories and get some insight from other people who are doing the same thing. And we are really excited today to have Emily with us.
I'm Emily Cretella. I am the founder of motherhustle.com, and we're an online publication and community for creative mompreneurs. So basically moms who run or dream of running a creative business. And I am also a copywriter and a content marketing strategist. So my Mother Hustle is my other business, Cursive Content, and that's kind of my day job. And Mother Hustle is my passion project, bringing other moms like me who have been working on their own and building their own businesses while they're raising their little kids together. And I'm also mom to Avery, who is 7, and Madeline, who is 5. So that's also an adventure. 2 girls, less than 2 years apart. So there's always something going on in our house.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot. I have a little boy. His name is Aiden, 17 months.
Oh, nice. And
there's Molly's little boy, one of his little boys.
Yeah. It's a snow day here in Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
So Emily, we would love to hear how you got started with Mother Hustle and share. I mean, obviously we can relate to the passion of it, but what was it like in the beginning, and how did you find your way in bringing all these women together?
Sure. So I think it starts when I, like so many women who, once you have kids, you're in a corporate world. I was in the advertising space. I was the director of strategy at an agency. And when I found out that I was pregnant with my second daughter and I had a 1-year-old at home, I quit that day and decided that I was that just life of stress and working so many hours and being away from my babies and my baby on the way was just like not for me. And so I decided to leave the advertising space, and I built Cursive Content, which is my own marketing and content creation agency. And I've been doing that for about 5 years. But, working on your own and building your business can be isolating, especially when you're a mom. And so I had this idea for Mother Hustle for a really long time before it began. I started it actually as a weekly newsletter, and it was, hi.
Hey.
That's my favorite thing. My kids are popping in here all the time too. That's why we do this, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I started Mother Hustle as just a weekly newsletter at first, and it was really aimed for the women who I used to work with at the agency. Once I started my own business, I was like, this is amazing. I can't believe that more women who are so creative and so amazing that I worked with are still stuck in this environment that's just not conducive to having the best of those both worlds. So I created it more as a keeping up with what I was doing. Here's how I'm starting my business. Here are the best resources that I'm finding. And it just sent out every week to a small audience, and it just kind of kept growing. And I realized that in order for it to have kind of more of an impact and more of that community feel, it couldn't just be my voice, and my voice was not the only one that was important in it. And so I kind of cultivated a panel of different moms in different spaces in their lives and in their businesses so that we could all share those experiences every month, and also including some guest speakers and experts as well. And we relaunched in June of 2017 as a 5-day-a-week publication with some resources for moms, as well as just the daily inspirational stories and connecting on social. And we're still building it from here. I think it's just the beginning of what we're doing, but it's amazing. Kind of like what you women are doing and bringing moms together. It's just, it's such a great sense of purpose and community together.
you focus so much, like you've already said, creativity, creative businesses, your passion. I know that you focus a lot on having a fulfilled career and life as a mom and as an entrepreneur and sort of pursuing your dreams in that area. So, like, one question I have that we talked about a little bit is how do you create your own success?
Hmm. So I think that's such an interesting question. And I think it's something that we're always redefining for ourselves. I think for me personally, when I was in the advertising agency space, I had this set vision of success that was like, okay, well, I'm going to continue to climb as far as I can and do what that takes. And that's success. It's just moving up that kind of corporate ladder and moving up as far as I can, or if it's not here, it's jumping somewhere else and continuing to just move up on these set paths. And I think the interesting thing when you start working for yourself and building your own business is that all of that kind of goes out the window, and you are it's good and bad, but you are completely free to set that direction and that definition yourself. And for me, that I've been always a very type A personality, wanting, to get to those milestones that I thought were always important. It's taken me some time to really, and I'm still doing it, figuring out like, what does success look like for me? And right now, I think it is feeling like I am fulfilled on both sides, on the business side and the motherhood side, and not giving into one pull or the other, like feeling like I have the space and the capacity to commit to my business and to my family. And I don't feel like either one is saying, where's Emily? Like, well, or where's mommy? Why isn't she here? So, and to do that when you're building your own business, I think takes some careful planning, because it's easy to let the mom side go out of control and have all your focus, and the business side. I mean, because if you're starting a business, you're usually a pretty driven person. So it's easy to sink every moment that you're not with your kids into your business. So it just takes some time to kind of define what that looks like for yourself.
And it's easy to feel like you're not where you want to be in either space.
Yes.
Like, you look at where you're failing as a mom, and you look at where you want to be in your business, but you're not there yet. And so I think it's important to keep that like success definition kind of like, as long as you're fulfilling both areas. I love that.
Yeah. And I think that also when we're thinking about success, it's always something that's coming in the future. And we forget to look at like what we've already done, and so it's always like, okay, so what is my future going to look like? What am I going to be? What am I working towards when, we're all doing amazing things every day. And so that's why I love the whole community aspect of, being able to share our stories and just recognize each other for like the small things, like, getting through the morning routine and working every day really hard and not like totally collapsing in a heap. But making note of those moments.
You've talked to so many amazing women.
Mm-hmm.
What are the 3 things that you took away from those conversations that you really took upon yourself to be yourself, to kind of like strive for,
I think the biggest one that comes to my mind is that social media is really a highlight reel. Like, I know people say that all the time, but you see even other moms that I've connected with that I'm like, wow, they just have it all together. They have this plan in place. They know what they're working towards. They are making every single right move. And then when you actually talk to them or they share their stories on Mother Hustle, they're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, a lot of this is just trial and error and figuring it out. And I think that for me, that has given me a sense of permission to experiment with things and not necessarily have it all worked out, like my 5-year plan of what this is going to become and who I'm going to be, and every step of what I'm working towards. That it's okay to just try things and change direction and change your mind and make mistakes and have your Instagram feed look different, 5 weeks from 5 weeks before. And so I feel like there's a pressure on a lot of us when we start our businesses that everything has to come out of the gate perfect, because we see all these other brands that are really perfectly cultivated already. And so that's been something that we're all kind of feeling this same way, but not enough people are talking about it.
There's so much social pressure to be perfect, you know?
Definitely. And especially when it comes to having all of your like ducks in a row for your business. I started Cursive Content, I think it's now almost 6 years ago. And I'm finally, it's just to the point now where I feel like I made mistakes, but I feel like it's really a settled, like, establishment. And I don't feel like that for Mother Hustle because, you know, it's 6 months old.
Instagram is not out to get us. They want us. That's their livelihood depends on us, but they want you to have quality over quantity. And that, I believe what they're doing is making sure that we are engaging and we're really making a community rather than just looking at it from a numbers perspective. It's Tyler J. McCall. That's McCall. And he's incredible. I really love everything he does.
Awesome.
Once you start talking to other women about their experiences, you realize that like no one just was this instant perfect success overnight. You know, they all have their stories and their experiences, and you kind of, I just find in life and in business, in my business, that once you start engaging with people and talking to them, their situation isn't that different than yours. And so there's always something we can connect, you know, through and relate to each other and learn from each other. And that makes it a really special experience.
Mm-hmm. So for 2018, what are your 2 big goals then?
Oh, you know, it's funny. I think right now I'm at a point where I don't want to add things necessarily to, especially my copywriting and marketing business. It's almost like optimizing. I really want to focus on, because I feel like I can get shiny object syndrome a lot and be like, oh, someone's doing this. I really want to add that to my business. Or, oh, I should be doing this. I could be doing these, whatever it is. But I want to make my life easier. Yeah. So I've, you know, hired some people, and I have adopted some systems that I'm really trying to automate as much as I possibly can in my client experience and making my current clients like super happy. That's definitely one of my goals as well, to just make sure the foundations that I'm building are so strong and don't really need me, so that then I can kind of grow on top of that. And then my word of the year is experiment. So again, it's me talking to my type A self saying, you don't need to have everything figured out, as long as you look at things as new projects and ideas as experiments, rather than, okay, this is going to be my strategy forever moving forward. And giving myself that permission to like totally fail at something and just try it out for, you know, creative exploration. That's my goal this year, to do that.
What is your favorite automation tool?
So right now I'm in the process of using, and I don't know exactly how to say it, Dubsado.
Oh, okay.
And automating, it's amazing, from like client workflows and invoicing, a lot of the admin stuff that I have to do on my one-on-one client business. It's all automated now, and I have to maybe click some buttons, and emails that I've been writing from scratch a million times over the years are now automated, and it has changed my role in my business.
So I think it's time for our bonus question.
I think so.
You can just go ahead and pick one. And okay, so this is in the love category, and it says, what are you passionate about and want to spend more time doing?
Oh, that's so interesting, because I was just, and this gets into another side of my life and business, but I was at one of the women's marches this weekend, and I think it's so easy for us, and me especially, because I'm building an online community. to get swept up into just online world. And so that's another one of my goals actually, is to get involved in the local community more and really be a champion for women and girls at the local level. And so I have been seeking out ways to get involved in different organizations who are working for women and girl rights here in Connecticut, where I am. And so that's honestly what I'm super passionate about right now. I can have a whole another conversation about that, but I'm really, I say fiercely feminist and want to be out there more, taking a stand for women and girls.
Well, thank you so much. And,
thank you both.
We are doing this weekly. Please subscribe to our channel and make sure to stay tuned for who we interview next. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you.
Bye. I feel like when we do these interviews and we talk to people, maybe you find this with Mother Hustle, where I just want to like work with everybody.
I know. Yes.